required to teach at the university level. To mark the occasion, the stuffy Göttingen faculty conceded, "A woman's mind is capable of being creative in mathematics only in exceptional cases." Goethe's experience is the perfect illustration of what it was like for most women in Germany attempting to make inroads in the boys' club of academia in the early 20th century. Brilliant women were long seen as remarkable singular cases, not as an example of what women in general were capable of when given the same education and opportunities as men. Your genius was neither here nor there, only your gender mattered. Math and science were especially difficult disciplines for women to crack. While lone women occasionally fought their way into some of these more analytical subjects, it wasn't until the first decades of the 1900s that we finally saw a major push for women to be more widely accepted in science professions. While Goethe paved the way for women mathematicians in Germany, Lise Meitner, Hedwig Kohn, Hertha Sponer, and Hildegard Stücklen were among those who helped usher in what was essentially the first generation of women physicists. Tragically, their careers were cut short just as they were getting established. When Hitler took power in 1933, he ruthlessly stomped all over this progress by enacting policies excluding Jewish people and their supporters from civil service employment, and essentially barring women from such work. The Nazis also restricted the number of women who could enroll in universities and forbade women from pursuing certification to teach at universities. During the National Socialist years, women were de facto excluded from academic careers, explains economics professor Elisabeth Allgauer. Most of the 56 women who'd fought tooth and nail to become lecturers or professors in Germany by the early 1930s lost their positions. Hedwig, Lise, Hertha, and Hildegard all lost their jobs as a result of Nazi policies. Nazism became a dark force spreading across Europe. Just as the goal of the darkness is to snuff out the light, the goal of the Nazis was to snuff out anyone who wasn't a straight, able-bodied member of their invented master race, as well as anyone who stood in the way of that goal. The force grew darker and more violent with each passing day. Emboldened by every edict it passed restricting rights, by every atrocity it perpetrated against civilians that went unpunished, by every inch of land outside Germany it invaded. As the Nazi Empire increased, so did the need for Jewish people and Nazi opponents to find refuge elsewhere. Hundreds of thousands of people found themselves desperate to flee to safer shores. As shafts of light desperately defying the dark, these persecuted people sent out calls for help to influential individuals and organizations around the world. Often, an international job offer and the funds and finesse to sneak out of the country quickly meant the difference between life and death. Yet the confluence of sexism and anti-Semitism in German academia meant most women scholars were not advanced or experienced enough to appear like good candidates for such jobs abroad. Not to mention that most universities had little interest in hiring women in the first place, especially in science and math disciplines. What would it take for Hedwig, Lise, Hertha, and Hildegard to make it out of Hitler's Germany alive? Hope, of course. Persistence, certainly. Well-placed connections never went amiss. Mostly, it would come down to the indefatigable dedication and resources of a vast network of aid workers, acquaintances, and colleagues. The tirelessness of veritable strangers doing everything in their power to see you safely out of Nazi territory. For organizations tasked with assisting scholars with escape, women invariably took a back seat to men. If they were to make it out, they'd have to help each other. Section 1. Women Scientists Encounter Nazism. 1. Hedwig scrambles for sanctuary.